Right guys, Brett is going to take us through his awesome chocolate cookie dough bar.
Chocolate cookie dough bar.
Super excited for this one.
Absolutely banging. So what we're going to do is we've got some coconut oil here. We're going to go in with that. It's half a cup. We're going to also add in a third of a cup of plant milk into the mix. And then here we're going to add in our light brown sugar. Just going to get that in the mix. I'm just going to stir that together. Do you want to stir that, mate?
Yeah.
Get it all nice and smooth.
So guys, Revolution Foods, that's our sister company, do a awesome organic cold pressed coconut oil. So check that out as well. I definitely recommend that. It's one of my favourite brands. Not just because it's my brand, it is the best out there.
Sick. And then while you're doing that, I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of just vanilla essence. Like so. Beautiful.
Boom.
There we go.
So what sugar do we use earlier?
So that's just light brown sugar.
Light brown sugar, yeah.
Light brown sugar.
Options are obviously white refined if you want. What about like a liquid sugar like maple syrup or?
You want to use like you want to use a granular sugar for this ideally, purely because it's going to help bring the bar together. It's going to crystallise slightly,
nice.
And that's what's going to give it some form once we put it in the fridge.
So coconut palm sugar, that work?
Yeah, that'd work nice.
Nice.
Cool, that looks great, mate. So now we're going to add a flour in. Flour, just going to add that in there like so.
Again, alternatives for people that are like gluten intolerant. So
with this one, because you're not baking it, because you're putting it in the fridge, things like rice flour and stuff are going to work for this one.
Yeah.
Rice flour, coconut flour.
What about like teff, buckwheat, spelt? Would that work?
Yeah,
yeah.
Because you're going to refrigerate. The thing is, with stuff like that, usually it's just going to add some oats in there as well. Usually with the flours, it is the fact that when you bake it, it dries out too much when you use a gluten-free flour. But when you're refrigerating something like this bar, it's going to work quite nicely. Yeah. 2 scoops of vanilla and cinnamon.
Which is going to give us 50 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So is this being heated or is it just cold?
No, it's just cold.
Cold, perfect, yeah.
We warmed up the coconut oil just to melt it, but yeah, everything else going in cold.
So with this, it's definitely, you definitely get the benefits out of the RawSport vanilla cinnamon with the probiotics, enzymes, all the superfoods that are in there. Anti-inflammatories from boswellic acid, frankincense.
Okay, so we've got this beautiful smooth mix now. All we're going to do is we're going to add in chocolate chunks.
Nice.
Bang them in there. And we're also going to add in some roughly chopped pecans. So, chuck them in there as well. And then, do you want to give it a stir, mate? Get mixing, put you to work.
Get the pump on. So this is a pretty balanced recipe in the sense of protein, fats, carbs. It's quite high in all of it.
Exactly, and we were even chatting about potentially subbing some of the flour out, like a nut flour, and making it more of a keto.
Yeah, obviously with the keto is getting it's getting a lot of traction. A lot of people like to use fat for energy instead of using carbohydrates or glucose. People are opting for fats for energy. Me personally, I've always been pretty high carb, but the keto does kind of intrigue me. It's maybe something I'll trial at some point.
Yeah, bit of experimenting, mate.
Well, yeah, it's basically just keeping your blood sugars at a certain level, which is then you make the body pull fat for energy.
Yeah, keeping that state of ketosis.
Correct, yeah, instead of using the carbohydrates for energy.
Now that you've mixed all that together, you just want to start spooning it into here, mate.
Is that mixing enough?
That's perfect, mate. That's absolutely banging.
This is a great workout, guys.
Nice. And then, yeah, just start spooning it into the tin, mate. I've greased the tin up with some coconut oil, so that's going to help the bar to come out once it's set. Beautiful.
So all these recipes are just for fun, really. You can obviously incorporate them in your day-to-day basis. But I suppose it's just giving it a different angle for getting these ingredients into the body, especially the protein. So obviously some people get bored just having a shake, so it's good to keep it mixed, keep it nice and fresh and yeah.
Yeah, keep mixing it up, getting some higher protein snacks in there, in between those workouts. If you are going to have a treat, you may as well have a nice high protein one.
If you do it, guys, do it right. Yeah.
Yeah, so once we've spooned it in, all we're going to do is start to flatten it down, press it into the tin. And then once you've got it nice and pressed down, we're going to pop that in the fridge for up to an hour. That's going to make sure it's nice and set, and then we're going to cut it up into bars. So this has been in the fridge for about an hour. It's set solid now, so I'm going to cut this up into bars. So when would you take this, and how would you, best use this product, mate, to get the most out of it?
Again, because it's a protein snack, it can be taken before, during, for breakfast, post training. Because of I think the dynamic of the product, because it is a snack bar, so there's no real specific time when you would take it, because again, it contains all the carbohydrates, the fats, the protein. It's a very balanced snack. So again, I think it's just adding the diversity and option of using these ingredients. Just kind of breaking up. Oh, look at that. Like Harva. Do you know Harva?
No.
With the sesame seed.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
It's got that kind of.
Cheers, bro.
Oh wow.
It's got a firm cookie dough. Got the pecans in there, the chocolate.
Got a little bit of white chocolate to it. Kind of, yeah.
A nice sweetness.
That is really good. Really, really good.
So
again, Brett, you can use other flavours in the protein, right? Doesn't have to
flavours.
be. Like vanilla cinnamon works really good with this.
Yeah.
But I can imagine toffee fudge.
You can go crazy. Get chocolate in there as well. Get chocolate one in there. Banana will work really well with this. So make sure you go to rawsport.com for all the recipes and ingredients.
Subscribe to our YouTube, RawSport.